Hey, what's up? It's Bond. Let's talk about Dragon Age Dreadwolf. So today on Twitter, we got a pretty big update. Dragon Age Dreadwolf, or Dragon Age in the BioWare account, did one of those super fancy combination tweets and announced that they have entered the alpha stage of Dreadwolf. That linked to a blog on BioWare and Dragon Age's website where they went into some more detail in a blog. I'm not going to read the whole blog because you don't want to hear me stumble and mumble and do my thing through it. But just to give you some of the kind of the basics of what they talk about is what alpha means for them is that essentially the entire game is done, as in you can play it from start to finish. Now, they aren't showing any screenshots of the game. And the reason is, and this is partially explained in here, the visuals are probably not even close to being done. The animations probably aren't done. They may not even have all the voice acting put in, all the sound effects. What this means is that the game, in theory, technically, you can get in and play it from start to finish, and the skeleton is done. Now they have to put on the flesh and put in the organs and put the skin on, right? Before it looks like something you can actually play and can appreciate. So they... they talk about a bunch of stuff here. Like they talk about, they did kind of like a hybrid, people on site and remotely joining, where they showed off the game to people who have been working on it. Because you have to remember that the people working on these games aren't all sitting in the same room watching it happen. They're all working on pieces, and then they bring it all together and enter a stage like where we're at, hitting alpha. So what they go into is, for the big news, they don't give a release date. They do try to make it pretty clear that, hey, we still have a lot of work to do to make this game look good. There's still probably a ton of mechanics and stuff they have to put in, or at least polish. It's not ready yet. And that's kind of where they left us. Now, on today's episode of Kinda Funny Games Daily, which is a daily game show by Kinda Funny, go figure, Jeff Grubb did go on there, and I guess before around this announcement, he touched base with some people who he knows within BioWare, and they still think that this game could come late 2023, but that there is a good chance it slips to early 2024. So people have their mixed opinions on Grubb. I personally think he's pretty reliable, and especially with EA stuff, he is very reliable. So he must have some really good sources there that are willing to give him some info. As for what this means for other properties, we know there's another Mass Effect game being made. They even mentioned that in here, saying that, and this is the first time I think they've specified, we have a team hard at work envisioning what the future holds for a new single-player Mass Effect game, and we look forward to celebrating our community on N7 Day next month. So they at least mentioned Mass Effect in here if you're interested in that, which I definitely am. I'm really hoping that them doing this announcement now actually means they may actually give us something kind of interesting for N7 Day, so that they can kind of hype both games up and not have to ignore one for the other. So there it is. Dragon Age Dreadwolf has hit alpha, and Jeff Grubb thinks that it could still come late next year, so a year from now or more, but maybe early 2024. That's all I have for this one. Let me know what you think, if you're excited, what this means to you. The last bit I'll throw out there is that I think it's super cool that BioWare is being so much more transparent than they have been in the past, or EA themselves. This is the 4th or 5th blog, I think, this year that BioWare has put out, kind of updating on what's going on, especially with Dreadwolf, but even, Star Wars The Old Republic and the next Mass Effect game. So good stuff. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Subscribe to the channel, like this video, check me out on Twitter at Bondiesel, as well as on Twitch as Bondiesel, and check out the podcast, the Echo Cast, my weekly gaming podcast, which is also here on YouTube, and you can go watch it there. That is all I have. So until next time.